Right, so I'm Ed from Your Demise, and I'm here today to meet David Ginola
for the Artrocker Icebreaker series.
So, first question. When you were a kid, was there one person that inspired you the most?
That's a very good question, because the answer is always surprising, because in my room when I was a kid, I had a poster of Robin Nash. He's a windsurfer.
Okay.
And because I was doing many sports, and I was pretty good at tennis, sailing, skiing, football obviously. So I mixed all the different sports in my young life, and I admired this guy, and I loved doing windsurfing. So I admire him, Johan Cruyff, because he was 1974 in the 70s.
Yeah.
I was a kid, and he inspired me in many ways to become a footballer anyway. And that's it. I wasn't really into this kind of fan stuff. I was really focused on the things I was doing myself, my friends, and it was interesting. It wasn't like a room where you can see kids. They got posters all over the place, but they focus on something. Me, I was focused on different things, and I didn't have any preference. It was just I love sports, I love music, and I was, doing my stuff. Was working. I was a good schoolboy. Could have been a good lawyer. I decided to become someone different.
Yeah, I guess it's the same with me. I wanted to be a footballer when I was a kid, and I chose music.
So what happened?
I went down a musical route, and then ended up playing music instead. And it leads into my next question: if sport didn't happen, because you said you did many sports, if sport didn't happen, what would have you got into other than that?
Nobody knows.
Nobody knows.
I mean, could have been anything.
Yeah.
I mean, I was a champion in sailing.
Yeah.
I played tennis. I guess it was in sports.
Yeah.
Mainly. I studied 1 year after my A level. I studied 1 year of law, and I could have been a lawyer, a good one, because I like to talk. And I guess to be a lawyer, a good one, you need
to be able to talk.
Yeah. I decided to play football and to be part with my colleagues, to be part in a collective sport, because when you play in a team, you're not alone.
What was the first record you ever bought, like off your own back, not bought for you, but you went out and bought yourself?
Well, it was a long time ago. I mean, can't remember. The only thing I can remember really is the first LP my dad bought me was Claude François. Claude François. Les sirènes du port d'Alexandrie chantent encore la même. This Claude François is a famous French singer who died in the 80s, and he was massive in France. He did a lot of tracks and a lot of fame. But the thing is, French people in the music industry, most of them, we know French music, obviously English music as well, but you are covering the entire world. We are covering probably just countries, that speak a bit of French. So I had this Claude François. But it's right after that, when I went to boarding school. Obviously you got surrounded by other kids, and you are influenced in terms of music. So you are, especially evenings, long day at work, at school, training in the evening, back at the boarding school. You're sitting down and you got this Walkman, it's the time now, it's MP3, and you got all this kind of music. At the time we had to wear these press the button. And like I said, Deep Purple was some friends. They were like really mad of that. And after I went to funky music, and I went back on rock. And so my first one, if I guess, is the one my dad offered me. It was Claude François. Nobody heard about it.
I should look him up.
It's a shame. He's a very famous singer.
And hopefully people will look him up after this. Obviously, you played a lot of big, important games in your career of football and stuff. Did you ever listen to music before you went on the pitch to get yourself pumped up? And
in my car before the game, I used to listen to some music, Led Zeppelin, Clash. I love Magnificent Seven. Always loved this song. Don't know why. Dire Straits. I had the pleasure to meet Mark Knopfler. It's like a dream become true, because when you're a kid, you're in a boarding school, they switch off the light and you got your Walkman and you listen to Dire Straits, the double album Alchemy, and you're there and you listen to Romeo and Juliet and A Private Investigation, and you don't understand a word about what they're talking about because you're not good at, your English is not good enough. And all of a sudden you wake up many years later, you're in Newcastle and you are training and Keegan stopped training and he said, "Oh guys, come on, I'm going to introduce you to someone with a beer, baseball cap." Says, "I don't know, doesn't need any introduction, Mark Knopfler for Dire Straits." Oh dear. And you got all your souvenirs coming back and you go back training and then the guy said, "No, David, you stay." And he's got your shirt on him, and with his kids, with Ginola, 14 at the back. And he said, Mark Knopfler saying to me, "We are a big fan of you." And I said, "But let me tell you something. This is something really incredible because you got all the souvenirs of you lying on the bed, listening to his music and his guitar and private investigation." And I couldn't find a word to tell him, "Well, I am your first fan in France. I mean, I've been listening to your music for many years and you inspire me in many ways." And so that's what football, and this is really English. This is what you get in England, is the relationship between music and football is very close to each other.
But that's the thing I was going to say, because I know through me and my friends who are playing bands, they still would wish they could be a footballer. We watch football every day and we're like, "Oh, I wish we could be
I wish I could be a musician.
And then I was going to say, a lot of sports people.
I'm going to learn guitar. I'm going to start this year.
You're going to start learning guitar?
I met the right person for that. Yesterday actually, I was having a coffee in the street and this a guy with a guitar on his back, and he's French, called Jacques, and I said, "Can we have a word?" And I said, "Do you teaching music?" He said, "Yes, I'm a teacher." So, and my friend said, "It's a very good one." Okay, so I said, "Can we start? Because I would like to play, because I can sing, I want to sing songs, but with my own, stuff."
Yeah.
And we were in Cardiff 2 weeks ago, and we had former players. William Foley, he came with his guitar, and he started singing English songs, you can hear anywhere. And I found this fucking great. And he was freaking out. And he got this song, never heard about, and it's fantastic. You probably know. I said, "Alice, who the fuck is Alice? I love this song." We were in the pub, "Who the fuck is Alice?" And it was brilliant. I love it. And I said, I need to learn guitar and be able to do things like that, because I think you can get people together. Music make this, it's very important.
It's true, like being a footballer, you must have met footballers taken you to some crazy places and met some crazy people. Is there anyone in particular who...
Not all of them were crazy.
Well, not crazy, not in a bad sense crazy, but in like the kind of, wow.
Well, football...
maybe not on football in sporting terms.
Take you to many places, and sometimes places you don't expect.
Yeah.
like I did the Nethead concert, and I had to open it with Imam, David Bowie wife. It was incredible. I was there on stage. It was U2 waiting behind me in New York. They were waiting as well for the start, and we have to open the concert. I knew Wembley with football games, so but I haven't seen Wembley like that, with pitch full of people, stands full of people.
I guess it was completely different, wasn't it?
And you realize how good it is to be a rock star.
Yeah.
All of a sudden you realize, you say, well, I did the wrong thing, I should have been a rock star. This is what I want to do now. Because it's great. You can, I realize, but that's typically English. In France, we don't really mix, is music, football, is, compartments. We got, in England, no. In England, you can, share, your passion, and this is what I like, and this is why we decided to stay in England to live, because it's more open-minded people. So this is what I like. You say thank you, football. Thank you very much, because without football, I could have had the chance to meet
these people,
my heroes.
Exactly, and I feel the same about. That's cool. No, but it's true. It's like, so as I said, I am a Spurs fan.
Are you?
I am indeed. And was there, at your time at White Hart Lane, was there any funny stories that stick out in your head? Any memorable moments and stories that?
I got plenty, but I think it's things you can tell, things you can't. But obviously the main thing, and it was just the time I spent most of the time playing games at the lane. I mean, it was like my garden, it was my family. I spent so much time after games talking to guards in the car park, people, just unknown, because that's the family. A football club is a family, and you have to share moments with the fans, with people working. I mean, it was like I said, a second family. So I want to be back in the game, especially also because of that. I want to create this kind of atmosphere. You can't be successful without being a family as a football club. You can't treat a club as a company, as an enterprise or anything like that, but you're dealing with sportsmen, you're dealing with, and the football club should be seen as a family. If you're not sticking together, sharing the same philosophy, the same ideas, you have to bring this kind of spirit in the club to make sure that in 3, 4, 5 years time, you're gonna get reward from that. And but the game is going too fast, and it's terrible, because sometimes looking at the game, and I said to myself, well, managers, clubs, they don't have time anymore. They want results straight away. And to build Rome wasn't made in one day. You know that. So I guess it's the same for clubs. So yeah, Spurs was an inspiration for me in training. I love to play with this shirt. I love the idea people were sharing there, the flair, the stylish football. The relationship was just great. I mean, I had the cup at home, and this brings me a lot of joy. I had this cup, the shareholders, player of the year. So you got names on it, like Glenn Hoddle, Teddy Sheringham, Gary Mabbott, Paul Gascoigne, Gary Lineker, Saul Campbell, Jürgen Klinsmann, and you got David Ginola, 3 times in a row from '97 to 2000. And when I see all these great players, and you're the only one to have won 3 times in a row. It makes you proud about somehow what you achieve, because it means a lot.
Would you ever consider going back to White Hart Lane to work with?
Yes.
The
Next question.
Okay.
No, I'm kidding. Yes, of course. I'm just telling you that I love the club, I love the people, love the stadium, love the jersey, I love pretty much everything.
That's good.
So to go back to Spurs would be an honor as a manager, obviously.
Right. So thank you very much, David, for letting me do this interview.
My pleasure.
It's been an absolute pleasure meeting you.
Pleasure.
I have this bottle of Jägermeister for you too, that you can.
Jägermeister.
However you feel you want
Just
to.
make my proper Jägermeister.